a break chance. Rodman out on the floor, lays it in, got hit.
Hey guys, this is Dominique Wilkins.
Hey, this is Sean Kemp.
This is Gary Payton.
Hey, this is Pau Gasol.
NBA fans, what's up? This is Vince Carter here.
Hey, what's up? This is Matt Barnes. If you're an old school NBA fan like I am, make sure you check out the Basketball Time Machine with my man Sean David.
Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Basketball Time Machine. My name is Sean David, and I welcome you to your weekly dose of old school NBA basketball. In today's episode, I want to take a look at the 1996 Chicago Bulls roster and rank the players. And obviously the roster had 15 players, but for this video, I will narrow it down to 11. But before we start, a quick question to you guys. Could you please subscribe to the channel and like the video if you enjoy the content? Alright, enough said. Let's get right down into it. So, as I said in the beginning of the video, I will narrow it down to 11 players, but to me it's just important to state again that every player on that roster was important. A successful team doesn't only consist of star players, but the role players. Each of them has to play their part in order to win a championship. So let's start with number 11. Yes, coming in at number 11 is Jud Buechler. Jud Buechler is that kind of a teammate you just want to have. He didn't receive that many minutes, but when he was on the floor, he would give you 110%. He was a player with great fundamentals and a very high basketball IQ. Also that season, he shot 44% from downtown, which was perfect for a team that had Michael Jordan or Scottie Pippen would often find the open man, which would benefit for Jud Buechler. Then coming in at number 10 is John Spider Selly. Now obviously Selly was a two-time NBA champion before he even came to Chicago. Even though Selly only played 17 games that season and didn't average many points, you could see that he was a great addition to the team. What he was lacking in speed at age 31, he was making up for it with smart positioning. Also, never underestimate the worth of experience. Coming in at number 9 was Bill Wennington. The Bulls never had a dominant big in their heyday, but it didn't matter. Wennington was the perfect big to come off the bench for the Bulls. Not a machine in the post, but someone who could shoot the open jumper and who was very unselfish, and that was exactly what Bill Wennington would bring to the table. And you will be surprised how many dunks he had that season. So in my opinion, he was an even better scorer than many people give him credit for. And next, coming in at number 8 is Randy Brown. Many people overlook what a great competitor Randy Brown really was. Super feisty on defense, a good ball distributor, and a player who could contribute 10 points if he wanted to. All in all, a more than capable backup to Ron Harper and Steve Kerr. Coming in at number 7 is Luc Longley, the guy who kinda got forgotten in the Last Dance documentary. Just like Bill Wennington, Longley was blessed with a great mid-range game. Also, he had the body to defend some of the big guys of his era. What many people overlook is that he also had a solid post game, very much underrated big.
I loved wrestling Shaq, and I got lots of cracked ribs and busted teeth as a result, but I loved it. And Phil and MJ and Pip and all those guys understood that that made us good.
There's an intimidation factor that goes into basketball, and Luc was a force that held his own. He could take a blow and just keep going, keep playing, steady, reliable, wanted to pass, wanted to help everybody else be better.
His strength was he could shoot. You know, he was very smart, good passer. He knew how to position himself well. He had the skill set.
He made our team better, you know, his ability to see the floor and make passes.
I was a gentle and empathetic young kid who had to figure out how to discard some of the gentleness and adopt some MJ, if you like.
I don't think Luc had the mentality of what it took to win. And, you know, you want to see that frustration, you want to see a little bit of anger. You want to dominate, you know, and there's times where I had to push him on that. You had to show him a little tough love. You know, that's what I call it, tough love.
He took a lot of heat from Michael, but he was also respected by Michael. So he fit right into the group and became a mainstay, you know, for that entire era.
I feel like basketball's given me an awful lot, and it's also cost me a fair bit in a lot of ways. I had to change an awful lot of who I was in order to really do the job. And coming out of that, I think I learned that not all of that suited me very well.
Coming in at number 6 is Steve Kerr. Yes, Steve Kerr is a sensational coach, but he's also the best shooter of all time percentage-wise from downtown. Super fundamental, super high basketball IQ, not fast, not quick, but he really understood the game. When Steve Kerr got his coaching job for the Golden State Warriors, I knew that he would be successful. Just a super smart guy.
It'll be a scoop if anybody but Michael Jordan takes a shot.
It is Michael Jordan time. Scottie Pippen looking for Michael Jordan.
Michael, 6 seconds, 5. Michael in traffic to Kerr, 15-footer. Burying the jumper. Seconds remaining in the fourth quarter.
Next on my list at number 5, Ron Harper, one of the best guard defenders of his era. There was a time where he was Jordan's rival. Many people forget that in his early days he was averaging 20 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists per game. Then he changed his style of play in his Bulls days. Lockdown defender, perfect teammate, and also very capable of scoring when he needed to. Then coming in at number 4 is Toni Kukoc, a player that would have started on any other NBA team. This guy could literally do almost everything: shoot, score, rebound, pass, and was cool with coming off the bench. In his prime, this guy was a beast.
Back to his left hand.
Sometimes I just feel like I never really knew just how good he was. So sometimes I would look back up some of his old Bulls highlights just to relive it again.
The fun he used to have, and to be the guy that was making, fun passes, getting excited for other teammates.
Another great pass by Kukoč.
Hitting some clutch shots.
Bring down the house, Toni Kukoc.
There was a song called Tootsie Roll, and he would just constantly sing, Tootsie Roll, Tootsie Roll. And it was just, I don't know why, we all found it hilarious.
Really understood how and when you were going to be open. And I haven't even talked about his passing. I mean, his nickname was the Waiter, because he just had great vision and great hands and was able to pass the ball.
Toni. To Scottie!
Making passes off the dribble, throwing the ball behind his back. Today's game, you talk about big guys doing. Jokic in Denver has that vision. He's able to pass the ball. Well, Toni was doing that.
Toni takes it. Oh, yeah! Stacy for the layup. Beautiful pass. Toni pushed it up. Stacy with the post.
My first season was the 95-96 season, and it ended with Toni hoisting the 6th Man of the Year trophy. So by that time, I think it was pretty apparent that the guy could play.
Toni driving to the lane. Nicely done.
Early on in that next season, that Michael bought into what Toni could do and understood that, that's another weapon.
Kukoc on the move to Jordan. His feet the door is going in.
Yes. I didn't think Toni saw Michael streak him.
He was the man in Europe. Now he's one of the men.
Kukoc drives in, double pumps, puts it in. Fade away, tough jumper from Toni in the corner.
Next on my list, so coming in at number 3 is Dennis Rodman. Not only pound for pound the best rebounder of all time, but also one of the best defenders of all time. This guy could literally defend position 1 to 5, and you would see that on the floor. This guy guarded Shaq at some point and would also guard the point guards of his era. Just an unbelievable talent. His mental and physical toughness is untouchable. I love this guy so much. Next on my list, so coming in at number 2 is Scottie Pippen, and just like Rodman, this guy was one of the best defenders of all time. He could lock down anybody and was next to Jordan probably the best player in the NBA that year. And I'm not the only guy who says that. I can remember Pat Riley saying that in 1996. And last but not least, obviously the best player on the 1996 Chicago Bulls, the best Bulls player ever, the best player of all time, Michael Jordan. Many people consider the early 90s Jordan to be the greatest, but to me in 1996 Jordan was at his peak, not from a physical standpoint, but from his basketball IQ and from his mental toughness. The experience that Jordan gained to me made him the greatest player of all time in that specific season. The 1996 Chicago Bulls to me is the greatest team ever assembled. Yes, of course, the dream team, but in NBA terms, the 1996 Bulls, there's no team which will ever come close to that team chemistry, to that team play, to the best player of all time, to the best defenders of all time. That team was just unique, and I just wanted to make sure that I show some love to the team that influenced my life and impacted my life so much. Alright, you guys, that was it for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed the content. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you next time on the Basketball Time Machine.
Be a very effective player in this day and age, and possibly more so than he even was back in his day.
We always talk about the most underrated players. He's the most underrated player of all time.